Good morning, students. In last video, I have started new chapter, that is Strategies of Industrial Growth 1947 to 1990. In this chapter, I will discuss about what is the importance of industry and what are the strategies of government related to development of industries, what is small scale industries and large scale industries, what is the role of small scale industry and large scale industry in the development of India, and what is the positive and negative effect of industrial growth. In all those topics, in my last video I have started what is the importance of industry, how industries and how industries are helpful in the development of India. Students, industry play a very significant role in the development of any country. In my last video, I discuss it in detail. Today, I will discuss it again and revise it so I can proceed this chapter. The first importance of agriculture is industry is the epicenter of economic growth. What does epicenter mean? Epicenter means a main center of economic growth. Without development of industry, GDP will not increase. Here, GDP is gross domestic product, and as you know, students, GDP means market value of goods and services produced during the financial year. Here, GDP, value of goods and services mentioned, and where we can get goods and services. Yes, we can get good services from agriculture also. Agriculture also provide goods and services, but there is limitation in agriculture sector. In industrial sector, there are varieties of goods and services, so there is more scope of expansion of goods and services in industrial sector. Industrial sector provides varieties of goods in the economy. Even we, the consumer, consume different kinds of goods. Even you all are consuming different kinds of goods in our day-to-day life, and these industrial goods enhance the quality of life. With the expansion of goods and services, it directly impact the income of the people. With the expansion of goods and services, income of the people will also rise, and that it's directly impact on the quality of life of the people. So through this we can say that uh, industrial sector is epicenter of economic growth. Second importance is source of employment. As I discussed earlier, that there is disguised unemployment exists in agriculture sector, means excess labor forces involved in agriculture sector. These excess labor force can be utilized in industrial sector. Next is source of mechanized means of farming. Industry play a crucial role in mechanization of farming. Use of machines. There are various kinds of machines which are used in agriculture, like tractors, threshers, and harvester, etc., that are used in farming. Has is these things available only through the industrial sector. Mechanization has caused an exponential rise in the farm production. Means with the help of machines, farmers are able to produce more and more goods in the agriculture sector. And our government is able to produce that much amount of food crops. So the population, the second largest population of the world, can get food. India becomes self sufficient because of increase in crop productivity, and crop productivity increase because of use of machines, and these machines are industrial goods. Now next is imparts dynamism to the to growth process. Dynamism means changes. Of course, industry provide dynamism in our life. Industry imparts dynamism to growth process. Like if you if we imagine our life without industrial goods, then our life will be restricted only on the agricultural goods. Like our objective would be only to uh, get food, and our life will be also very limited. But with the help of industrialization, this added new dimension to in our life. It has generated a wave of consumerism. Consumerism means endless consumption of wide varieties of goods and services. You can see in your life that we you all are consuming different kinds of goods, and by consuming these goods, our life become more interesting, and it also enhance the quality of life. For example, we the consumer are consuming even right nowadays, consuming mobile phone. Every student must have their smartphone, and various kind of electronics gadgets. We are using different kinds of food, ready-made good food, and these are the goods which make our life comfortable and easy. Next is that is very important contribution of industry is growth of civilization. Here civilization means urbanization. You have seen that where there is lots of industry, people used to migrate those place, and with the migration of those place to place, the various kind of things are attached with this migration. Like if the lots of people migrated any place, there is need of infrastructural development, and with the help of infrastructure development, new kind of society form. We have seen in rural area there are lots of social level exist, that is caste system, and people divided on the basis of religion. uh, and you will find that in urban area these things hardly exist. That kind of social levels can also be eliminated from the society with the help of industry, because industry leads to urbanization, and that ends to a modern society where people are educated, and they hardly bother about caste and religion. Next important contribution of industry is infrastructural growth. Industrialization led to infrastructural growth in the economy. If industry has to encourage, sorry, if industry tends to spread across different part of the country, also as it spreads, there is an expansion of infrastructural facilities such as means of transport and communication, banking, insurance, insurance service, power means electricity, and there are various kind of infrastructure needs, and for the need of these goods there is urgent need of development of infrastructure also. In fact, both industrial growth and infrastructural growth are interlinked. The growth of one escalates the growth of other. growth process and industrialization are so intimately related to each other that industrialization is often taken as absolute necessity of growth. Means that growth occurs and when occurs as and when industrialization spread. It is the fact that most developed countries today are industrialized countries. If you see the developed country in the world, all the developed countries are industrialized countries. In fact, industrialization has emerged as an inevitable means necessary route to the process of growth. Through this discussion, we can say that development of industry is very necessary for the development of economy. Now, now I'll discuss about industrial development in terms of India. At the time of independence, the big question facing the policy makers was to decide the role of government or public sector and the private sector in industrial development. The planners and the politicians also realized that process of industrialization could not be left to the market forces of demand and supply, means to the private sector. Also, it could not be left to the wisdom of private entrepreneurs, means private sector, because as you know, the main motive of private sector is to earn more and more profit. On that basis, the planners and the leaders decided that there should be more role of state in industrial development. There are also various reasons. Because of this, the planners and policymakers, the leaders decided that there should be more participation of state in policy making of industries. These reasons are: the first reason was shortage of shortage of capital with private sector. Capital means money. At the time of independence, private entrepreneurs did not have capital to undertake investment in industrial ventures required for the development of Indian economy. The private sector did not have capital to undertake investment in industrial venture. At the time of independence, private sectors or private entrepreneurs did not have that much capital, means money, to undertake investment in industrial venture, because as you know, student, for establishing an industry we need lots of money. And at the time of independence, there were hardly few business entrepreneurs like Tata and Birla. These are well known private entrepreneurs, and as a result government had to make industrial development through public sector undertaking. That's why government take decision that investment will be through government will decide which areas of which area the government should invest. Next one is lack of incentive. Lack of incentive for private sector. Lack of incentive to the private sector. At the time of independence, as I earlier discussed, that India was one of the poorest country of the world, and the Indian market was not big enough to encourage private industrialists to undertake major project, even if they had capital to do so. If some industries entrepreneurs had capital, but they are not motivated to invest in the market because there were lack of demand in the economy due to limited size of the market, limited size of the market, there were there were low level of demand, low level of demand for the industrial goods, because people the purchasing power of the people are very less, so they can't demand industrial goods. That's why the private sector were not interested to invest in the economy. As you know, that private sector interest so their interest in investment only when there is demand of any goods. Next one is objective of social welfare. Objective of social welfare. The uh, the objective of equity and social welfare of the government could be achieved only through direct participation of the state means government in the process of industrialization industrialization because the motive of public sector always be the social welfare, and through direct participation of the state in the process of industrialization, the objective, that is social welfare, can be achieved. If government will give opportunity to private sector, then the social welfare will not achieved, because private sector is more interested to earning profit. That's why at the time of independence, it was decided by the policymaker and the leaders of this country that they will encourage public sector in industrial development, and give little participation of private sector. Through these explanation, student, you will be able to understand why role of public sector in industrial development in India, in during between 1947 to 1990. So these are the proper explanation. Now, after this discussion, one question can be framed. The question is it justify the direct participation of the state in industrial development of the country after independence? Is it justify that direct participation of state in industrial development of the country? Yes, I would say yes, because after independence, the industrial development of the country could not be left to the market force of demand and supply, means private sector. It needed direct participation of the government, because the industrial development needed a big push of investment, with the private entrepreneurs cannot could not afford. There was low inducement to investment. Inducement means motivation to invest by the private sector because the size of market was very limited. The growth process placed high priority on the socialism pattern of the society because the socialist pattern, their motivation is social equity and social welfare. So it is justified that state participation in industrial development of India that could lead to the very fast rate of growth of this country. That is the whole discussion of state participation in the industrial growth in India. Now, in my next video, I will discuss about steps taken by the government, major steps taken by the government, in which one major step is Industrial Policy 1956. In this policy, government started various kinds of reforms and initiative to develop India industrial sector. Thank you.